What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, man? How about them Ravens? How about them goddamn going Ravens, man? Straight up. How about them Ravens, y'all? Boys looking good out there, ain't they, man? Ravens looking good out there, ain't they, man? When Buffalo came in town, beat up on them, you know. Beat up on them boys. Y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Y'all know we late, man. I apologize for being late. You know, the Ravens game was the night. You know, I had to support the home team. But we ain't rock and roll today, man. We got Diddy. You know, yesterday we spoke about Diddy's situation, man. And everybody been adding their perspectives and perceptions on what's going on with Diddy, talking about this liquor company and this, that. You know, everybody got anything to say. But I never knew that Diddy actually spoke on this situation. How many people saying that, man? How many people saying Diddy break down his beef with Diageo? And I'm gonna keep it real, y'all. Like, you gotta know the game. G-man, what it is. You gotta know the game that you playing. I think Diddy fucked that money up by not knowing the game. Raw Dope Podcast, what it is. And make sure y'all fuck with Raw Dope Podcast, man. You gotta know what you're dealing with. But yo, if I was Diddy, right? And what he explained, if that happened to me, yo, I would probably feel the same way. And I think that's what made it that much more, you know, heightened. Because I think Diddy legitimately had a case. He legitimately had a beef with these people, man. Legitimately. Yeah. You heard they got a video of what? How many kids? What you talking about? It's just Peter Griffin. Then we got YSL Mondo. Yo, yesterday we talked about Mondo and how goofy he was looking on the internet yesterday. I was very disappointed in him. And y'all won't believe what Mondo had to say today, man. And this goes into what I always be talking about, y'all. But I want to start with Diddy. Should we start with Diddy? Because it's another story I want to highlight from it's a dude locked up in a federal prison, right? He was having issues. He was having issues with his cellmate, man. On the 8-year bit, Ray come home, yo, 504. They found him dead in his cell. Cellmate then got to him. What's the word they use? Did him real bad, yo. It's real. It's messed up for real, yo. But everybody don't make it home when he go to prison, yo. That's the thing about this. These young boys think it's a game, yo. Everybody do not make it home, yo. Shit get real wild, man. For real. And ain't no guns in there, man. You gotta be able to stand on R2 at all times. You know, at all times. But I think I want to go to this first before we talk to Diddy, y'all. Look at this, y'all. That's okay. What it is. Man, shout out to Mo from Moco. What it do? Oh, man, that's crazy. Nah, I ain't hear that, G-man. You know, I'm not believing nothing. You know, I'm not believing nothing that comes out in the media, y'all. Because I know they use the media to weaponize, you know, to work against the people. So I mean, that's not even nothing I want to see. But I'm not believing nothing that the media is putting out in relationship to Puffy, y'all. It's like at this point they piling on. But look at this story, y'all. Family of federal prisoner Ard beaten to death by a cellmate sues the United States. Yo, this story is crazy, y'all. Crazy, y'all. You know, he looked like a relatively small guy. The family of Kevonte Washington sued United States of America after he died at Philadelphia's Federal Detention Center in May 2023. So we're gonna go through this lawsuit, y'all. The family of a prisoner who was arrested and killed by a cellmate at Philadelphia's Federal Detention Center in 2023 has filed a lawsuit against the United States of America, their lawyer said. The lawsuit filed on Wednesday, September 26th, in the U.S. District Court, U.S. District of East, what? The U.S. District for the East District of Pennsylvania states that Kevonte Washington was near the end of his 8-year prison sentence when he was placed into a cell for another inmate who had a history of mental illness and violence. This is crazy. Washington's family is alleging that he was awed before being beaten by a cellmate on May 10th, 2023. Washington was taken to a nearby medical facility where he died from his injuries. Y'all wait till y'all hear these injuries. Charlene, what it is, baby. According to the lawsuit, Washington, who had both prison staff and his family, who had told both prison staff and his family that he did not feel safe before he was attacked. His family is accusing the prison system of having inadequate and undertrained staff, which is what led to Washington's death. There was a panic button placed in Washington's cell that was either not working or staff in the prison did not respond to it in a timely fashion, the lawsuit alleges. Yo, they had to put a panic button in the cell, y'all. A panic button. Yo, why not move the boy, man? The boy ain't safe. That's the thing, y'all. They got an obligation to keep you safe. That's why they got PC. If the boy wasn't safe, why not move him? Washington, who was a father to 3, the lawsuit said, he was serving 8-year drug-related prison sentence at the time of the attack, y'all. Drug-related. Yo, he wasn't even locked up for violence, y'all. Yo, y'all know, I think it's about 80% or most of the prisoners that's locked up right now, y'all, is locked up for non-violent offenses. So he caught 8 years on a drug bit, probably got caught with some Fetty Wap, was ready to come home and ended up getting killed by a cellmate. As of September 26th, but that ain't even the worst part, 2024, no charges have been filed. No charges have been brought against the inmate who was accused of arring and beating Washington in prison. Fall out, the lawsuit explained. Yo, so listen to this, y'all. Can y'all see that? Let's see. All right. On May 11, 2023, Kevonte Washington died at 31 years old in Federal Detention Center in Philadelphia, which is operated by the Federal Bureau of Prisons. Cynthia Santiago, Mr. Washington's mother, is the administrator of her son's estate. On May 10th, 2023, Mr. Washington was brutally armed and physically assaulted by an inmate at the federal prison. He died from his injuries the following day on May 11, 2023. Mr. Washington had informed the federal prison officials as well as family that he felt unsafe. Yo, it is very important, yo, when you got people locked up, yo, you gotta, yo, the worst person you can be locked up, yo, is a person that don't got no help on the outside. Yo, you gotta have help on the outside, yo. If you don't have, and he had help, but when you don't have help on the outside, yo, they will run all over top of you, y'all. I'm talking about run all over top of you. Yo, I remember one time I had an abscess covered on my 2 front teeth, covered damn near my whole teeth. Covered my whole teeth. I woke up with it. So I hit the bubble like, yo, I gotta go to medical. Like, yo, look at my mouth. You can't even see my gums. So they tell me, man, I gotta put in a 118 form. 118 form. Basically, what that is a medical slip that take about 2 weeks for them to reply. Like, I need to go now. Yo, they wasn't gonna do nothing for me. I had to get up on the phone, call my mother. Man, once my mother got friends talking to them people, y'all was out of there in like 2 hours. And y'all know with toothaches and abscesses, yo, you can die from that. Yo, if that shit explode, oh my God. But I said that to say that, yo, if you got people that's incarcerated, man, make sure they all right, man, because these people will do you dirty, man. These people will do you dirty. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We're going to talk about Diddy if you came here for Diddy. But I want, this is important. Mr. Washington's fears were not heard by the federal prison officials, resulting in his tragic, untimely death. Mr. Washington's tragic death was due to negligent security and lack of staffing that could have prevented this tragic event from transpiring. What is Harlem? You said federal prison don't care? I go to war with them about my husband's medical. I called the board of nursing governors general. Dad, that's crazy. What's up, LeVar? Mr. Washington was in protective custody while in prison, which heightened the federal prison liability of negligent security, because Mr. Washington should have been protected and kept safe from any potential threats. Attached are photos of Mr. Washington both before and after being savagely attacked. So they ain't got the so they don't got the fuck. I don't even want to see the pictures of him after being savagely attacked. Like, yo, y'all listen to what what happened to him, yo. Like, listen to this. Like, yo, this is terrible. Like, yo, they should get a nice lump sum for real. The attack on Mr. Washington Federal Prison is one of the most severe recent attacks on an inmate within the Bureau of Prisons, which further shows the negligence of the federal prison through the lack of security staffing to prevent such attacks. The lawsuit seeks redress for the injuries Mr. Washington sustained as a result of the defendant's unconstitutional and wrongful misconduct. All right, y'all, let me get to what happened. Listen to this, y'all. Yo, this is terrible, y'all. All right, look, this is the factual basis, y'all. So this is what happened. Yo, terrible. On May 10th, 2023, an inmate named Robert Smith, Mr. Smith, brutally awed and physically assaulted Mr. Washington in federal prison. Mr. Smith's criminal record shows he has a documented history of violent convictions, both before and during his incarceration at the federal prison. As of the date of this complaint, 1 year and 4 months after the murder of Mr. Washington at the federal prison, no criminal charges have been brought against Mr. Smith. At the time of the attack, the federal prison was understaffed and negligently failed to prevent the attack of Mr. Washington. Federal prison officials failed to take safety precautions and rehouse Mr. Washington after he warned them of threats to his life. Yo, wait, y'all, listen, y'all, don't go nowhere, y'all. This shit get crazy. Immediately after the attack, Mr. Washington was alive. He was bleeding from his face and his head due to scalp contusions and multiple facial fractures caused by blunt impact injuries to his head. Yo, listen to this, y'all. Furthermore, as Mr. Washington awaited aid from officers and medical staff, he suffered contusions of his right side of his tongue, hyoid, and larynx. That's that them little things on the side of your neck, like under your cheekbone. Fracture of thyroid cartilage and traumatic separation of the citric thyroid muscle due to compressions of his neck. Additionally, Mr. Smith suffered numerous contusions to his intestines, I don't know that word, and pancreas due to blunt impact injuries to his torso. Moreover, Mr. Washington suffered from lacerations of his anus and lacerations and abrasions of his rectum, which are findings consistent with sexual assault. Yo, this is crazy, y'all. Mr. Washington's cause of death was due to complications of multiple injuries, the manner of which was homicide by a federal inmate named Mr. Smith. Mr. Washington was untimely taken to Thomas Jefferson University Hospital, where he ultimately died due to his numerous injuries. Defendant negligence robbed Mr. Washington of his best years of his life. At the time of his death, Mr. Washington was only 31 years old. Mr. Washington leaves behind 3 young children who were greatly looking forward to seeing their father soon and spend time with him upon his soon-to-be release date. His children include a 13-year-old girl, a 9-year-old girl, and an 8-year-old boy. Yo, this is devastating, y'all. Like, yo, come on, yo. Like, how the fuck did they drop the ball like this? Charlene, that's the type of shit they be on, Charlene. Like, yo, that is, yo, when I say this, I say, God damn. Like, yo, this dude had to have been huge or something, yo. Like, why would you even put y'all? They probably did that shit on purpose. And this is, y'all, this is a guy, this is a guy that had a non-violent offense, drug-related offense. That's why I be how I be, yo, about these drug charges, yo. You send some man 8 years in federal prison for drugs, yo, and sit him next to a guy who has a history of violence, a history of harming people. And then when he screamed out for help, instead of them moving him, which they could have easily done, they could have easily moved him, yo, they put a panic button in his room. A panic button. That shit probably made it even worse. Like, yo, come on now, yo. Like, yo, this is negligent to the motherfucking fifth power. Like, it don't get no more negligent. This almost, I don't even think this is negligent, y'all. This look like intentional to me. This look like intentional. Sure, you did taking out one attack. All right, hold up. Yeah, we're gonna read this. Hold on, let me go back. Hold on, let me go back, because we're gonna read that. That's important too. All the acts and omissions committed by the defendant were done intentionally, unlawfully, reckless, negligently, yeah, and in bad. Yo, this had to have been intentional, y'all. Like, there's no way, yo, you can tell me this wasn't intentional. This was intentional. Each of the foregone paragraphs are incorporated as if restated fully herein. Defendant is responsible for the oversight of its employees at the BOP, which includes officers and staff at federal correctional facilities. Pursuant to the federal text, all right, let me go to the next page. Like, yo, this is terrible, y'all. Like, this is bad. This is bad, y'all. Security and staffing to ensure inmates do not violently attack one another. Further, the duty includes rendering immediate medical aid to severely injured inmates, such as Mr. Washington's case, and transfer them to a medical facility to receive treatment in a timely manner. Federal prisons officials knew or should have known that Mr. Washington faced an excessive risk to his safety and life, and should have never allowed Mr. Washington and Mr. Smith to be housed in the same cell due to Mr. Smith's violent criminal history. Federal prison officials breached their duty to protect Mr. Washington from harm by failing to take any action to protect him in the face of known risk to his safety, such as placing him in a separate housing unit. And he was already on PC, so he should have been housed by himself. The officials also breached the duty by failing to maintain proper security in the prison and staff the units properly with officers. Federal prison officials further breached their duty by failing to timely extract Mr. Washington while he was being physically assaulted by Mr. Smith. Upon information in the belief the panic button in Mr. Washington's cell was not in working condition and or timely responded to by federal prison officials failed to render medical aid in a timely fashion. Like, yo, these are some of the worst injuries I've ever heard in my fucking life, man. We ready to talk about Diddy. Yo, but we had to talk, yo. We always, I don't know if you knew over here, yo, but we always got to talk about something real. It's good to talk about, the celebrities and the nonsense, yo, but you got to talk about something real as well. I hope his family see the socks off the United States government. I hope they get motherfucking $100 million. For real. I hope they get $100 million. Because that shit was intentional. That wasn't no motherfucking mistake. This man was writing to them, telling them it was a problem. Telling home it was a problem, so more likely she was telling them, and they just sat back and allowed that shit to go on. Just sat back and allowed it to go on. That man died in the worst way, man. For real. Cavante Washington. All right, so Diddy. I wanted to highlight that story, yo, because that story needs attention. So Diddy, right? So for the last couple of days, y'all, we've been talking about Diddy. It's been a pile on of Diddy currently as we speak. I don't like the fact that the blogs are participating in it. You can only expect so much from the news and law and crime. They paid and brought for, so you can only expect so much from them. But Diddy actually spoke on these allegations. I get this beef he had with this liquor company, and I want y'all to take y'all, because I think if I was Diddy, I'd have felt some type of way too, yo. Even though, you know, you got to know the game you playing. Yo, but the game that they played on Diddy is a dirty game, y'all. Listen to this shit. No, not that. Yo, they played a dirty game on that man, yo. So we already know that Diddy never owned Ciroc, which is crazy because we thought he did all these years. He never actually owned Ciroc. But so Diddy had a deal with these people. You know, after he made them all this money, you know, he made some money too. He built up their brands. He built up Ciroc. But part of the deal the future deal was he was supposed to get his own liquor, which is daily on. But I want y'all to see what these people did to Diddy once they gave him his own liquor. Like, yo, this is... So, remember when I was saying that his lawsuit of racial profiling or racism might have had merit? That's why they were so scared. Listen to Diddy explain this, y'all. Hold on.
This is before the whole tequila craze. So it's like you make a deal. You make a deal like, I'm going to advance this for you so that we can be good partners and you can give me what I want, which is my opportunity for me to own my brand and to be able to build generational wealth for my kids and my people. And I just need the same 24 hours as y'all giving everybody else in your portfolio. And I couldn't get that. I had to send my people down to Mexico. And this is just to tell you what the fight is about. They went down to Mexico, and when they got down there, they found out that there was 0 agave planted for DeLeon. So there was no plan for us to be successful. There was no equal treatment. The other brands, they had agave planted. They had no agave planted for me. And sometimes you have to go check even your partners to see what's really going on. And so when I saw that, I was like, nah, I'm going to fight because it's bigger than me. It's about not just me, it's about we, it's about all of us. So I chose my purpose over profit. And that's the whole DeLeon situation. Yeah. I really love to...
Yo, that is fucked up, y'all. So basically, like he built up Ciroc. He had this deal with him. I'm gonna build up Ciroc, but y'all gotta look out for me down the line. So they say, all right, we got you. We're gonna look out for you, you know, help us build this up. You know, we're gonna break you off a couple of hours, you know, we're gonna get the bulk of the money. But further endeavor or future endeavors, you're gonna get your own liquor, you're gonna get your own brand. So they gives him his own brand, y'all. And they wasn't promoting it. I'm talking about it all. Listen to this shit again, yo. Yo, we might gotta find this whole interview. No, he ain't lying. He ain't lying because he ain't lying, Esther, because he sued them for racial profiling.
Tequila. This is before the whole tequila craze. So it's like you make a deal. You make a deal like, I'm gonna advance this for you so that we can be good partners and you can give me what I want, which is my opportunity for me to own my brand and to be able to build generational wealth for my kids and my people. And I just need the same 24 hours as y'all giving everybody else in your portfolio. And I couldn't get that. I had to send my people down to Mexico. And this is just to tell you what the fight is about. They went down to Mexico. And when they got down there, they found out that there was 0 agave planted for DeLeon. So there was no plan for us to be successful. There was no equal treatment. The other brands, they had agave planted. They had no agave planted for me. And sometimes you have to go check even your partners to see what's really going on. And so when I saw that, I was like, nah, I'm going to fight because it's bigger than me. It's about not just me, it's about we, it's about all of us. So I chose my purpose over profit. And that's the whole DeLeon situation. Yeah. I really love tequila.
That man say they had 0 agave planted for him. 0. 0, y'all, like none. Everybody else, you know, they deal with George Clooney and others too. Everybody else had they had plants, you know, waiting, you know, so they can grow their liquor, get their liquor right. They didn't have not one plant for Diddy, y'all. Not one plant. Yo, we gotta find this whole interview. We gotta find this whole interview. Yeah, we gotta find this whole interview. I want to see if he elaborated and went more into detail. About this situation. Yo, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We go live every day at 11 p.m. And we're keeping it all the way real. Is this it? Here you go, right here. He did this a year ago. A year ago, he did that.
Dave McCormick said he was fully against abortion.
I'm someone who's pro-life, has been pro-life.
With no exceptions for rape or incest.
Nah, man.
And over
if they drop the tapes, they dropping the tapes to make them look bad in the public perception. Like I told y'all yesterday, y'all, they gotta kill you in the public first. You gotta kill them in the public first.
And welcomes.
Make the court job easy.
Yeah,
and it's still going.
Yeah, I see y'all for the months. See, I'm with her. She on the right frequency.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, let's set the temperature.
It's called the biggest for a reason. They don't do it like us, man. First and foremost, Diddy. We're gonna have a crazy conversation, but let's take a moment, man. Look at this.
Yeah, I heard about that above water.
Hold on, let me see y'all. Let me see what's going on out there. Where the hustlers at? Where the real hustlers at? Hey, I just want to take a second.
But this is the thing, though, y'all. This is the thing, and this is probably how them people looked at it. Like, yo, we made you a lot of money. So it's like, yo, it's like, it's crazy. It's like, yo, some people expect to be able to fuck you just because they helped you. You understand? Like, no, that's not how that shit go. Yeah, we both made money. My face made them a lot of money. So it's like, yo, these people will look at you like, yeah, like you got some nerve. And it seemed like to me that's the approach that they took with Diddy. Like, you got some nerve to try to sue us after we allowed you to make money in our field. No, yo, but that's right is right and wrong is wrong, man. But at the same time, we gotta acknowledge that, yo, Diddy have done some wrong. And that's why he's not getting the support that some people might think he should get, especially from the black community, because Diddy has a history of fucking over black artists. And this might just be the chickens coming back home to roost. If we being honest, this might be the chickens coming back home to roost, because Diddy have got a long history from, I heard, matter of fact, we can check that out. Chopper from Making the Band was talking about how when Black Rob was dying, he reached out to Diddy. And Diddy ain't had nothing for him. If you had one shot, one achievement to seize everything that you wanted any moment, what would you capture or let it slide? Man, you got to capture it. And I think that's probably what Diddy was thinking when he sued them people, man. But you got to realize, too, that you playing this is a dirty game. Salute the K for the $5 super chat.
Earn your leisure, Rashad and Troy. What they have ignited in our community for financial literacy is something that is needed and something that's God sent. And this right here is the Hustlers Super Bowl.
I don't know.
So
see what it is,
some noise for these two brothers right here for teaching us and showing us the way.
I don't think Diddy's getting life in prison. If he get found guilty, he'll see the light of day again. Because I'm more than likely, y'all, I think this is just about money. I think it's about money. Yeah, if they can't get him, you know, they'll take prison. But I think this is about money, y'all. That's why you see all these lawsuits. Yo, next week, y'all, it's a law firm. We talked about it on the last live. It's supposed to come out and announce 50 lawsuits. 50. He already got 13. So it's like, yo, make him sell all this stuff. And we're going to make him sell all his assets, make it turn into cash. Then we're going to take all his cash. That's what's going on. Meanwhile, he got to fight these charges. I just don't like the fact that, yo, these people can crush you anytime they want to. But like my man, like G-Man said, like Dame said, that's why you don't do business. You always use your own money. Like some people say, you know, it's good to use the bank money. It's good to use other people money. You know, you make a lot of money in debt. Yo, but when you give people that power, when they build you up, they can break you down. And that's what we witnessing. We witnessing the breakdown of Diddy.
Nah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Super Bowl. I like it. I like that.
Let's get into it, man.
Straight
We got
up.
a lot to talk about, but
Hefe.
let's start at the beginning. So,
Yeah.
you know, I want to know, starting Bad Boy Records, right? To me,
Yeah, we watched that the other day.
definitely top 2, top 3.
Right,
ever
Diamond.
when it comes to hip hop music, right? Inspired you to have that
You probably do
vision
like 7 years.
in the early 90s. It's trendy to have a record label now, but especially the way you did it as far as hiring the top producers, making sure you had the top in-house talent. You kind of navigated it very strategically. What was your thought process when you was 19 years old doing that?
I would have to say, starting Bad Boy, I had to tap into the love, you know. I fell in love with hip-hop the first day I heard, like, this battle mixtape of the Treacherous 3 versus the Funky 4+1. Y'all may not know about any of this. But it was like the upcoming rap groups that didn't have any other exposure until the Sugar Hill Gang came. And when the Sugar Hill Gang record dropped and I heard it played on this station, WBLS, I knew that hip hop had arrived.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
so I
started
looking at it as a possible career. But it really came to me when I was at the Fresh Fest in the late 80s.
Let me try. I'm trying to find.
We as artists and we as a people.
I want to find
full of politicians who put their party first. Senator Bob
that whole
Casey.
conversation
Talent.
because I don't want to miss
That's the
nothing.
easiest thing to do, right? Talk about how that was encompassing part of your entrepreneurial journey, right? Because it was get picked up and get seen and got an opportunity with my talent as like a background blessing. It was something that was a talent to be able to do that. And so I started from the bottom. And so I was doing everything from the background dances to the
See, this is the thing, y'all. Yo, when you doing business on a level that he was doing business on, yo, if you try to come at certain people, yo, you got to make sure your backyard is clean. And I think that's what Diddy failed to recognize. He failed to recognize that, yo, maybe even though I know they playing with me, you know, it may be some racism, you know, we don't know. But I ain't really in a position to go at these people because my yard ain't clean. You feel me? My yard ain't clean, man. And these people play dirty. Yo, high level of money, high level politics, it gets dirty. Real dirty. That's why I be so crazy how when everybody talk about the streets this, the streets that, yo, high level business, high level politics is way more cutthroat than the streets. Way more cutthroat. We just don't hear about it because we don't be privy. But every now and then, situations like this will show you. It show you how cutthroat it is.
So by the time I got to Bad Boy, to A&R, by the time I got to Bad Boy and got my chance, and I only got my chance through a negative situation. So anybody out there going through a negative situation, you have to know, stay steady in the storm. I got it, yeah.
So, all right. So let's get into
I gotta say, yeah, I got fired. I gotta tell you the whole story. Andre Harrell fired me. And so that adversity kind of pushed me into my Bad Boy purpose. I was scared. I remember I was fired. I was outside of Andre's house, stalking him, crying, hoping that he would come and I could talk him into giving me my job back. But as Andre said, he didn't fire me to hurt me.
And up still, you know, that's the part. See, that's the part. That's the conflicting part because I feel like that too. But I think the reason why, because a lot of these motherfuckers are suckers for one. But for two, yo, Diddy has a history of fucking over black people. Got a history. Like nobody became rich fucking with Diddy. Out of all these artists, the Locks, Danny Kane, the fucking SWV, who the fuck else was Biggie? All these people that was dealing, Jodeci, Casey and JoJo, like all these people that was dealing with Diddy at some point had to get away from Diddy to even get money. Black Rob did. G Dep turned himself in for an old ass kid. He just came home. Loon. Like, yo, Diddy has a resume of doing bad business with black people. That's why I don't think he's getting the support that he probably deserves, you know, because it's obvious what's going on, yo. And I think now most people are realizing, even though they still pushing the false narratives on other pages, most people is realizing, yo, this is not about justice, yo. This is about revenge. And a lot of people is now taking jabs at him just because they kicking him while he down. Andre, yeah, they kicking him while he down. KK, I don't like the fact that black blog sites is pushing the narrative. I don't like that. You know what's going on. You know it ain't about justice. So why y'all pushing this narrative about all these victims? And you understand? That's bogus. That's not that's bogus, man.
And so he gave me my independence, and that's the bad boy story.
So
cheers to that.
For that. So I wanna all right, so now let's get into this Diageo situation, right?
Yeah, KK.
So
because that's the game.
Talk about
he ready to talk about Diageo. See, KK, that's the game. Like I said earlier, they gotta kill your image. They gotta kill your image. They gotta kill you in public perception. Because if they turn the people against you, like I say, the court can just run over top. It makes it easier for the court system. They don't want people outside picketing and riding. Free Diddy, free Diddy. They don't want that. That costs too much money. That's too much headaches. They don't want that. They want everything to go through smooth. So we can't just drain you financially. No, we got to kill you in the end. We got to kill you in the public too. Got to kill you in the public. I was surprised that they came after him this fast. I thought they was going to drain his money first. But what we witnessing right now with all these lawsuits is, for some reason, they couldn't wait. They locked him up now. Now they trying to take all his money. Diddy gonna walk away from this motherfucker with probably $50 million. That's all you gonna have. Diddy went from they're gonna take Diddy from a billionaire to a fucking $50 million heir. For real. Because it's gonna cost a lot of money to get out this shit. But it looked like they're trying to take his money to fight. So he might not even have the money to even get out. All right, but this is the Diageo situation, y'all.
The relationship with Diageo. So this lawsuit that you brought against them, right? People might not know, but I think Pharrell was the actual first one to sue Diageo. And it was for unfair treatment. So you had a historic relationship with them, 15 years. Going back to Ciroc, DeLeon. I never even heard of Ciroc until you started doing the commercials, blew it out the water. Then you had DeLeon, and everything looked like it was on the up and up, owned by a black man and all that. So a lot of people was confused when the lawsuit came about. You shared some information with us when we came to your house that we wasn't aware of. So can you really talk about that? Because I think it's a very interesting case study for entrepreneurs to understand.
Definitely.
Kamala Harris failed to do her job.
Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, y'all. We're on the way to 20K.
And I haven't been to
Trying to get to 20K by next week.
Benefits
We can do it. We got 2,000 subscribers this week, y'all. Salute to everybody that came on board, man. Supporting the real.
You love learning.
Supporting organic blogging. I ain't got nobody in my pocket and I don't run plays. You ain't never got to worry about being tricked to subscribe over here.
The situation's in the courts now, so I'm going to share with y'all what I can. This is all public record. But basically, I was called to have a meeting with Diageo.
Yeah, upstairs, they proving the point.
They knew that I was kind of killing things in the culture.
I know.
And they were trying to fix their diversity problem. And through that, a meeting was set up, and I told them, you know, I want to be an owner, that I have these ideas from promoting parties that have.
Oh, so they ain't never want him there. They never wanted him there. They said they was trying to fix their diversity problem. So he was a what you call it? What they call that shit, y'all? The law that got passed. When they hire people just because you are a person of color. Diversity and equity. What they call that shit, y'all? Y'all know what I'm talking about. DEI. Right. He was a DEI hire. So they ain't never want him there. But what happened is it worked. But it probably was still some resentment. They probably never wanted them there from the beginning. That's why they was so, that's why they, now it's making sense. Now it's making sense as to why they was so upset that he turned around and pulled that move on. Because they never wanted him there to begin with. Let's rock out. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, y'all. Donate to the platform, cash app.
The door and never get the bar.
Baltimore swag.
So I said I have aspirations to have black-owned brands owned by black people behind the bar and a part of your organization. They're the biggest distributor of spirits in the world, biggest maker of spirits in the world. So we get a test project. I'm looking at their portfolio, and they say we can start something from scratch. But I'm looking at their portfolio, and I remember one night, I was having a great time with Ciroc. I had some Ciroc. It was made by grapes. And I remember, you know, having just such the greatest time. And so the light bulb went off in my head. I said, I don't want to wait and develop nothing. Let me show you what I could do with Ciroc. Let me show you how I could turn your revenue around. They were losing $40 million a year. And I went and turned it around and took it to 2.6 million cases from 40,000 cases.
Whoa.
Okay, and so this is something that's never been done.
Did y'all hear that, yo? Did y'all hear that, yo? How, yo, that's crazy, yo. How you can't play fair with that man? How can't you play fair with that man? Yo, we gotta run that back again. He said he took it from 42,000 cases to what? Come on, y'all. That's dirty, y'all. That is dirty, y'all. You couldn't play fair with that man after he took y'all company from here to there. Well, not your company, but that product. Yo, that's insane. That's insane. Man, I used to like Ciroc.
I was having a great time with Ciroc. I had some Ciroc. It was made by grapes. And I remember, you know, having just such the greatest time. And so the light bulb went off in my head. I said, I don't want to wait and develop nothing. Let me show you what I could do with Ciroc. Let me show you how I could turn your revenue around. They were losing $40 million a year. And I went and turned it around and took it to 2.6 million cases from 40,000 cases.
Yo, they was losing $40 million a year. They was losing money. And y'all still can't play fair with the boy? You still can't play fair with him. Yo, that's crazy, y'all. That's insane, y'all. That's insane. I ain't like the fact that Diddy misled people. Because a lot of people was buying Ciroc back then thinking they were supporting Diddy. Even though they was supporting Diddy third party. But people thought that Diddy owned Ciroc for years. So it is deception. It is misleading. Yo, but they was losing $40 million a year, yo. And he helped them build that shit up. That's crazy, yo. But for the people like me, I ain't gonna lie, Diddy, you kind of down bad for that. You should have kept that shit real. Should have kept it real. Now they fucked you. You thought y'all was teammates and y'all was in this to, you know, y'all was in it to win it. Whole time they had a motherfucking another plan set up in motion.
Okay, and so this is something that's never been done.
Clap it up for that.
And so 15 years later, even though I had that success, I was always fighting for Ciroc not to be pigeonholed. Not to be pigeonholed as a black brand, not to be pigeonholed as an urban brand. I already went through that. I went through that with Sean John. They put me in the urban section. I had to go and disrupt the fashion industry, pull up on Fashion Week, and show them what that black excellence swag is about. And that's what we did with Sean John. And so with Ciroc, it was the same thing. Get into the spirits industry. No matter what industry I went into, I always came up against this ceiling that they just wanted to keep me in the colored section. I would say for businesses, you have white-only business, just like you have white-only bathrooms back in the days, and you have black-only business. And so my fight is to always make sure that we could just do business. I want to be treated equally like anybody else. And so that's what the fight is about. And it's not me just fighting for me. I'm fighting for us. Because whatever bar I set, y'all have to come behind me on that bar, and I want to make sure that it's right. So that's what the fight is about, simply put. And the last things to make it clear was with DeLeon. I still own DeLeon. Okay, so with DeLeon.
Dave McCormick said overturning Roe v. Wade was a huge victory.
Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to donate. Cash at Baltimore Swag, man. Support the real, man.
I sent my people.
Before you tell the story about that, just talk about the process of getting DeLeon, right? Because it was you proved yourself with Ciroc, and so now there's an opportunity to create something else.
With a lot of, first of all, corporate America is made and built for white men.
They don't own nothing no more.
So when you're going into corporate America, usually your entryway is to help them with their diversity problem.
Wow.
But at the end of the day,
that's crazy, yo. See, that's why, yo, if you ever get a lot of money, yo, it's best not even, you understand? Like, yo, they always backs, yo, it's best not even play that game. It's best not even play that game. Yo, you'll live much longer. You'll have a better quality of living. You can still take care of your family. You can still go on all the trips you want to go. But you don't, this is a dirty game, yo. When you're dealing with certain businesses and certain companies, like when you try to stretch beyond just being a black man in America, yo, they play dirty. It's a dirty game. But the problem is, Diddy should have known this going into it. He should have known this going into it. I'm sure he did. I'm thinking he may have got too comfortable, or he was either so upset that it was like, yo, fuck that. I'm not letting them get away with this shit. They've been fucking me over all these years. I've been lying to people, telling them I own Ciroc. I don't own shit. I'm ready to get them back. And then they double crossed them.
You want to be able to open up doors. Sometimes you got to take that opportunity and get in. And so that's what I did with Ciroc.
That's true.
But I told him I don't work for nobody. Everything in my portfolio I own. So you guys have to know my ultimate dream is a tequila. Since I was a kid, I remember drinking tequila or being afraid to drink tequila at first. Since not a kid, a teenager.
Correction, please.
I mean, I was over 21.
Yeah. He was 21 at Howard. I remember it.
Yeah, but tequila used to have a worm in it. That's how dangerous they used to like market it. But I was like, I really love tequila.
Yeah, you're right,
before the whole tequila craze. So it's like you make a deal. You make a deal like, I'm going to advance this for you so that we can be good partners and you can give me what I want, which is my opportunity for me to own my brand and to be able to build generational wealth for my kids and my people. And I just need the same 24 hours as y'all giving everybody else in your portfolio. And I couldn't get that. I had to send my people down to Mexico. And this is just to tell you what the fight is about. They went down to Mexico. And when they got down there, they found out that there was 0 agave planted for DeLeon. So there was no plan for us to be successful. There was no equal treatment.
There was no plan at all.
Other brands, they had agave planted. They had no agave planted for me. And sometimes you have to go check even your partners to see what's really going on. And so when I saw that, I was like, nah, I'm going to fight because it's bigger than me. It's about not just me. It's about we. It's about all of us. So I chose my purpose over profit. And that's the whole DeLeon situation.
Yeah, you brought up distribution. Yeah, clap it up for that. You brought up distribution, and you come from the music world, and so distribution is a...
Hold on, I need to say this. I need y'all to still support DeLeon. You know, we gonna win this. Believe that. Still support DeLeon, y'all. Still owned by black.
He thought he was gonna win. He thought he was gonna win. Yeah, I just can't believe Diddy was that stupid, yo. Like, yo, he should have known what he was. Like, yo, you can't play that game with them, man. Can't play United. For one, you don't have the backing. You know, for some reason, other billionaires that got money like Diddy, they just stay quiet. To me, it looked like they all just waiting their turn. You know, either they gonna stay in the lines forever, or they just waiting their turn. So when they step outside the lines, they gonna do them just like they did the rest. But this, well, we don't know. He might win, but can you win? Even if Diddy beat these charges, is that a win? If he go from a billionaire to $10 million, like, I don't think that's a win, yo. It could be. You know, he keep his integrity. You know, integrity is everything.
It's owned by a black man.
Owned by a black man. You come from the music world where distribution means one thing.
Yeah, I feel you,
For some of the audience who may not be familiar, I'm sure they can consume spirits, but they don't really know what it means to have distribution inside of that space. What does that look like when you're building a brand like DeLeon and Interrupt? Yeah.
I don't know how young families are making it today. Everything has gone up in price.
Diddy lawyer.
Supply.
Diddy lawyer said he not taking no deals. We saying that yesterday. He said he ain't taking no deals. Diddy is fighting. So it's either he gonna win or lose. But he said he ain't copping out at all. It's either he gonna win or lose. But it's gonna be hard to win, yo, because he don't got no backing unless people fucking with him behind closed doors. You know, the Jay-Z's, maybe, you know, maybe they rocking with him behind closed doors.
And distribution is everything. Whether you came from the streets, we all know that. We learned that at a very young age. And so no matter how I market a product, if they just keep me in black neighborhoods through the distribution, I can never grow. I can never be as great as I could be or as great as we can be. You know what I'm saying? I had to go from me to we. And so when I started really looking at every decision I was making,
they might not.
I was like, that this is something that I have to change. I can't just come and get this check and not be changing the way the ecosystem is. So if you want to have a successful brand, you have to have, number one is you have to have the supply to meet the demand, and then you have to have the distribution. And so if people control your supply and control your distribution, they control your future. And so that's what I'm fighting for right now.
So let's talk about Ciroc. Is that one of the biggest regrets that you made as far as not having equity in Ciroc?
No, it's not a regret. Everybody has a journey, and that's just really how, you know, corporate America works. You gotta pay your dues to get in, and they make us prove ourselves over and over and over. And I don't have any regrets because the journey was the most important. And also, I'm not really letting Ciroc go. So, you know, I'm going through this, but it's part of the journey. So I had to go through this to be able to get to this point.
But when you spoke to us, it was enlightening.
Yeah, LJ, I agree.
Even if you look at a lot of the billionaires in our culture, it's because of spirits. When you look at Jay, you look at yourself, a lot of people have made their money not so much on the music side, but on the spirit side. Then you look at somebody like George Clooney, who's one of the greatest actors of all time. He became a billionaire because of tequila on the low. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like when you were saying how other brands were put in bars and put in restaurants and there was marketing dollars behind that, that's why you heard of these liquors that you never heard of before. They weren't putting your liquor in the same places, and they was actually just relying on your star power and not giving you the marketing dollar. It's kind of like fighting with your hands cuffed. So I think it's great to communicate that, because from the outside in, it could be looked at as like, that's just somebody's rich problems, like me soon, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like you said, it's bigger than you, because it's like, all right, this is a problem that's faced across the board, where black companies get less funding, black companies get less promotion, less distribution. If you look at InvestFest, look how many people is here right now. There's no reason why we shouldn't have $10 million in corporate sponsorships, right? If we was a white entity and it was all white people, every single corporation in America would be sponsoring InvestFest, right? But
no, Jay-Z not next.
These are the problems that are hard to communicate, because it's like most people, you're worried about, you know, paycheck to paycheck, right? So you're not worrying about that, but it's like on a higher level, there's different levels of racism. This is the level of racism that you don't see. So it looks like, oh, we millionaires and we get 15,000 people, but it's like somebody else can do a fraction of this and get way more money and be on CNBC and be on Bloomberg. But when we get on, it's for diversity or a black initiative or a Black History Month. That's a systemic problem in this country that's hard to communicate, because people don't fully understand it. And you told me, so you was like, on your level, there's issues that's hard to communicate because we don't understand it, because we're not at the billionaire level. So I think it's just important it's always, every level that you go to, there's different hurdles.
Yes. One of the things I've been blessed to see is having 30 years in corporate America with partnerships. And
see, y'all, some partnerships,
we have to
man.
come to the reality that nobody is coming to save us. No one is coming to save us. Out of all the business revenue in America, only 1% goes to black businesses. But then there's an accountability from us, because we have a $1.8 trillion buying power, and only 2% of that we circulate in our own communities. So we can't complain. We know what it is. It's time to change the tone. We have to unify our dollars, else nothing will change.
See, I just think that's chicken talk. I don't believe Diddy ever would do that. But it's sad, yo, that's what happened to him, yo. You feel me? Like, I strongly believe that's why Diddy is in this situation. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. You feel me? If you go back and look at the videos when people started talking this, I probably got the first video telling people like, yo, I don't know, y'all. This shit don't look right, yo. It look like it's some, it's some shit in the game. But it's hard to support Diddy when you know that most of Diddy people that he got over on was black people. You know, all his record labels, all his deals was black people. Which Diddy should have known is whenever you align yourself with these people, yo, you're gonna be in for some shady practices. Diddy done ran shady practices on people. Look what Diddy did to Shine. Y'all seen that live when we went into the Shine case. Look what Diddy did to Shine. Diddy hired or paid witnesses to testify against Shine when they was supposed to be fighting together. So it could just be common, when you do dirt, you get dirt. It's just so fucked up because on a broader level, on a bigger spectrum, it just shows that, no matter how far you go, if you align yourself with these people, you make them mad, they're gonna crush you. You make them mad, they're gonna crush you. And if I was a billionaire, I think I would say something. I ain't gonna lie, yo. I would say so, because even though it ain't even my fight, but I would, because if they keep not saying nothing. We done seen this happen to Bill Cosby. We done seen this happen to, you understand? Like, and it happened to so many people. So it's like at this point, everybody's just waiting their turn. Everybody's just waiting their turn. You get so much money, you just sitting back waiting for them motherfuckers to take it whenever they feel like it. I think that's wild, man, that we allow that and nobody says anything. Do people think people at the Diddy part will get in trouble? Man, I don't think it's that, y'all. Like, I don't see this cleaning up of Hollywood and everybody being exposed. I don't see that, y'all, because it's personal. If it wasn't personal against Diddy, it's a possibility we would see that. Yeah, but this is personal against Diddy. They don't want nobody else to get caught up in this. You feel me? This is me versus you. Mano y mano. You understand what I'm saying? So even if there is tapes of other people that, other celebrities, high profile celebrities, we will never see them. It'll never come up in court, for one, because federal court, you can't take the camera in there. And for two, they don't want it to, because this is not what that's about. This is not about Jay-Z, and this is not about ex-trafficking. This is not about the victims, This is about revenge. This is about, we made you up, now we ready to break you down.
Mighty black dollar to save us, because we can't have these festivals and conventions, but then we leave here and we don't understand the power of our $1.8 trillion spending power, that we only give 2% to ourselves. So I'm here to speak from love. I'm love. Self-love is making sure that you take care of yourself, your family, and your people first.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't wait for nobody to come save you. So there is a solution. Things are definitely dismal as far as what's planned for us. But there's a way out. If we unify, but we got to truly, truly unify. We have to truly, truly start making decisions that support our communities. We can't think that there's a government grant that's going to come and just free us all. We have to get to hustling, working together, and changing the tone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good to say. Why you ain't started?
That's a fact.
You could have started that shit years ago.
One of our other conversations, the word disruption kept coming up. And you were so adamant about it. When we walked away from it, it was like, how can we be as disruptive? And it's interesting because the most disruptive thing we can do is work together, right? It's something that we haven't done, right? And so I know that you just launched Empower Global. Talk about what that is and how, similar to what we're trying to do, give platforms to people in the worlds of business of all categories. What's your vision for that, Empower Global? I'm a solutions-based person.
Diddy parties.
You know, I don't want to just come and reiterate the problems that we already know is going on. So
when I'm he talking bullshit.
Using my creativity, and I'm first of all, one of the things that being successful and having money, people kind of get your purpose messed up. They get it fucked up, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? They don't really know what cloth you cut from, because once they see you getting money, it turns into something else.
No, you're not getting life
from day one. You know,
you're not getting life
for me, my purpose was always to make sure that I was working to make life better for my people. So as I looked at where we're supposed to be as
that's a goddamn lie. Like, we ain't ready to sit back and listen to bullshit. Diddy, your sole person been taking advantage of your people. By Diddy putting his name on Ciroc, tricking people into drinking alcohol on behalf of thinking they were supporting Diddy, that was dirty work. So you can't then come back and say that shit. No, man, we ain't ready to do that. Now don't keep it G News. You feel me? Well, you know, we don't do that over here. We gonna keep that shit already real. We gonna keep that shit already real. Nothing. Ever talk. He ain't never said nothing substantial. I'm from Baltimore, man. We got an accent. Heavy one. He put his name on Ciroc, but that ain't his. Yeah, I'm the strip. He has nothing really to do. I know, that's what I'm saying. That was dirty work. You don't do that. If it wasn't yours, that's what I'm saying. Like, Diddy is almost getting what he asked for. You know, you trick people, having people think we were supporting you. Meanwhile, we really supporting them. Whole time you thinking you doing this. You tricking us, thinking you're gonna gain favor from them, and whole time you ain't getting shit from them. They gonna fuck you over in there. You feel me? So I just look at it on a bigger spectrum of they can do this to anybody whenever they feel like it. Whenever they feel like, yo, you done got too powerful, you done said too much, you done did da-da-da-da-da, we gonna crush you. And it's like, how many years is that shit gonna be allowed? You know, how many years are people just gonna sit back and just accept that as the normal? You know, business as usual. Like, I don't really be rocking that. Man, salute Charlie Hill, man. Nah, Lisa, Diddy not getting life in prison, man. Diddy, because at the end of the day, y'all gotta realize them charges is freak offs. Like, it's only one victim right now, y'all. It's only. Right now, y'all, we dealing with Cassie versus Diddy. Y'all say it on every live because I think people still don't get it. I think people still got this imaginary trial in their head where everybody is going down. And, you know, right now, as it stands, it's Cassie versus Diddy. Let's see. Law and Crime do a video on Diddy every day. I think I'm ready to start doing one every day to combat their videos. Every day, Law and Crime put out a motherfucking negative perception on Diddy. Man, sleep. That's what it is. Keep it your news. The only real over here. Straight up. I think we ready to combat Law and Crime Network, man. We might not get their numbers, but we do good. We get 100,000. You know. Every time they do a video, we doing a video. Fuck it. Cause they're not keeping it real. I was watching something earlier. Oh no, that's the wrong thing. I was watching something earlier with Law and Crime Network talking about Diddy. This is it. 10 hours ago. A closer look. P. Diddy's freak offs.
Welcome to Rules Talk. If you want to survive in one
yeah, but human nature, it's all based around the freak off.
Oh yeah, I got this person. I get this. So it ends up being a string or a network of
people. 10 to 15
frankly,
years.
Women
That's what I'm thinking.
Most likely associates with each other or know each other, and they may even be close friends, and they've been in the circle that was basically targeted by Sean P. Diddy Combs, as well as the people around him that were assisting him in this behavior.
And we're gonna also get to this
G-Man, where you was at? You wasn't here yesterday, bro?
How do authorities corroborate what they're being told? Is it they hear a consistent pattern over speaking to multiple people?
Let me show y'all this real quick. It's another thing I've seen. I seen that was wild on the internet.
I'm definitely very proud of the fact that I don't have no worrying about no weirdo shit coming out, you know, and that I've always played the game fair, stood to my guns, and I can enjoy my life, you know, and I understand what real wealth is, happiness.
No, I'll tell you not. It's not about supporting Diddy. I just want people to know the truth. It's about people knowing the truth, yo. People knowing that this is not justice for Cassie. This is not justice for victims. And that's not the reason they doing this. The reason they doing this because Diddy crossed the line. If Diddy never crossed the line, we wouldn't hear nothing about no cases. We wouldn't hear nothing about no cases. Yo, what the hell? I ain't say that shit. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It'll be no cases. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If everyone wants to support the platform, Baltimore Swag is the cash app. We rocking.
Same thing. Okay, unless they coordinated this, it looks like it might be true.
Yeah, see, let me explain. Cause I guess we get new people in here every day. Yo, Diddy did some things that was wrong. Morally. Yo, but life in prison wrong? Yo, did Diddy do things worth life in prison? No. You feel me? Like, yo, can we be real, yo? He did some things wrong. But to be facing life in prison? Man, fuck out of here, man. I don't know. Because at the end of the day, from what we know, we don't know anything about no children. We hearing rumors. I'm not even believing the rumors. I won't believe it till it come out in court. From what we know, y'all gotta realize that Hollywood shit with the Justin Bieber and Usher, yo, that's Hollywood shit. Like, yo, we ain't, you know, we already know what that is. We can't include that into this. Those are two different things. This that Diddy is going down for is things that Diddy do on his personal time. This is not Hollywood based. This is not the music industry. This is what Diddy does on his personal time. Diddy's a freak. You know what I mean? They rub down in baby oil and they get it cracking. And like I told you, it gets slippery, it gets wet, you know, it gets crazy, it gets exhausting. IVs need to come out. Sex workers fly in. Yeah, it's a party. You feel me? But life in prison, man, hell no. Not no motherfucking life in prison. Because I don't think that Diddy even understood that what he was doing can even fit under the RICO statute. And I explained to y'all, and I gotta keep explaining, I guess, every day, because we got new people coming every day. The only reason, and I ain't heard nobody else explain it this way. The only reason Diddy is charged with a RICO is because of the organization of the freak-offs. It was organized. Organized crime. That's what RICO is. RICO's organized crime. So by Diddy setting up these RICOs, they saying it was organized criminal activity because drugs was involved, extortion was involved. You know, say somebody witnessed something and a tape need to be brought, coercion was involved. Basically, like, if you don't perform in this freak off, I ain't gonna put your album out. Yeah, those are things horribly wrong. You know, you shouldn't treat people like that morally. But life in prison? No, hell no. Not no fucking life in prison. They shouldn't face no life in prison for that shit, man. Because from what we know, like, we don't know about no children. If children get brought into play, things change. If Diddy is bringing children into play on his personal time with these freak-offs, everything changed. You understand? But from what we know right now, Cassie is the only victim. Cassie is the only victim. There's no other victims right now, y'all. I showed y'all the indictment. It's one victim. I just seen Law and Crime finally admit that it's one victim yesterday. I've been telling y'all it's one victim for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, I was telling y'all it was one victim. Yeah, neighbor, that's Hollywood shit. That's how they operate in Hollywood. Like, this is not cleaning up Hollywood. Like, people gotta realize those are two separate things. What happened with Usher and Justin Bieber? That's that Hollywood shit that we hear about. What Diddy is facing is things that he does on his personal time. It's his personal time. Like, he's not getting in trouble for the things that everybody in Hollywood involved themselves in. He's not getting in trouble for that. Yo, he is getting charged for beating Cassie, bro. He is. He is. That's the coercion. That's the assaults. The whole case is about Cassie, y'all. He is, Tay Knox. The whole case is about Cassie. Y'all didn't know that? See, that's why it's confusing, because they're using language like victims and the whole case is about Cassie. Nobody else. Nobody else. Let me go to the indictment. Jesus Christ. Why do y'all do? Why do y'all? Yo, y'all know I don't get up on here lying, y'all. Especially you, Tay Knox. You're a member of the channel, man. You know I don't get on here lying, bro. Let me show everybody. Jesus Christ, man. I hate when I have to do this, man. Stop and go all the way to the daggone paperwork. Nah, yo, they using this whole case is about Cassie, bro. It's only one victim, y'all. It's only one victim. If y'all read this indictment and read the Cassie indictment, it's the same lettering. Everything is the same. Just to get my head out the sand. See, y'all want to believe something that ain't true. I'm trying to tell y'all what it is. This is Diddy indictment right here. This is Diddy indictment. Look. Count racketeering and conspiracy. Trafficking, arson, kidnapping. Remember arson? That's Kid Cudi car. Remember in Cassie lawsuit, she said he set on fire Kid Cudi car? Look at this. Arson. Know what kidnapping is, y'all? Kidnapping is when he was fighting Cassie in the hotel, and she was trying to get away, and he grabbed her by her hair and brought her back in the room. That's kidnapping. Forced labor. Trafficking is when he was transporting these sex workers to these freak-offs. Robbery is when he brought them. Is when he brought the tapes. When he brought that 50, you know that tape that they showed that they introduced to the world. Diddy brought that tape for $50,000. Obstruction of justice. He reached out to Cassie when his house was getting raided. That's obstruction of justice. See, yo, nobody's keeping it real with the people, man. They trying to sell y'all a fictionary tale of what's going on. This was abuse at times, verbal, emotional, physical, and sexual. See, they're using words like woman and individuals, which makes it seem like it's going to be like 85 people coming to court. It's 85 victims. This is one victim, y'all. Look at this part, y'all. Combs ensured participation from the women, making it seem like it's more than one, by, among other things, obtaining and distributing narcotics to them. Remember Cassie said he was giving the drugs? Controlling their careers. Remember Cassie Cassie was signed to Bad Boy, leveraging his financial support and threatening to cut off the same. If y'all go to the Cassie indictment, she said that he would take her all her homes was in his name. The whole indictment is about Cassie. Hey, Tay Knox, bro, you've been following me too long for that, bro. I don't be speaking if I don't know what I'm talking about, y'all. I think I would have thought y'all known that by now. I thought y'all known that. Look. Let me show y'all something. Look at this, y'all. Count 2. Oh my God, I lost my fucking mouse. I hate this fucking computer sometimes. Sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. Victim 1. Y'all see that? Victim 1. It's one victim. It's one victim. Do y'all see that? How long do I gotta leave that on the screen before y'all understand that it's one victim? It's blurred. Let me make it bigger. Y'all see that? It's one victim. All right, but well, I don't have to do that for the word victim. It don't say victims. Say victim 1. That's the only person on this indictment. It is Cassie. The whole indictment is Cassie. Yo, do y'all must don't know Cassie indictment. Let's go to Cassie indictment. Somebody, I think somebody got it. What's that girl name? Tissa Tells or something. That's victim 1. No, it's only one victim. Count 2, sex trafficking by force. Only one victim. It's only one victim. Look, from 2009 to 2018, that's how long they was in a relationship, ain't it? Wasn't they in a relationship from 2009 to 2018? Like, come on, yo, stop letting these blogs lie to y'all, man. Look, 2009, 2018. Wasn't that how long Diddy was in a relationship with Cassie? Wasn't this how long Diddy was in a relationship with Cassie? Am I right or am I wrong? Like, I can't believe y'all doing it, especially you, Tay. Now, you've been over here too long for that, bro. Look, attempted, aided, and abetted, and willfully caused victim 1 to engage in commercial sex acts knowingly and in reckless disregard for the fact that victim 1 is engaging in commercial sex acts as a result of force, fraud, or coercion. The case is about Cassie, y'all. Like, why y'all, now, could they add more people on? Maybe. But as it stands right now, but it wasn't only dealing with Cassie then. They said he had 2-3 girlfriends, including Miss Ventura. Yo, but right now, as it stands, this indictment is not saying more than one. It is saying more than one. What are you talking about? It's no other victims on this indictment, y'all. Look, it's no other victims. This is the whole indictment. This is the whole indictment. See, that's the thing. People keep giving y'all excerpts. I read the whole indictment. Like, I'm not guessing. Look, there's nobody else. It's the whole indictment. Look, that's it. 14 pages. So it's a 14-page indictment. Whenever y'all ever, I'm doing a case right now, a federal case that got 114 pages. This is 104 pages. Yo, this is a 14-page federal indictment. Cassie is why they started. Cassie what the fuck you call it? Cassie lawsuit turned into a criminal charge. That's what happened. Hey, G, man, they tripping. Yeah, yo, I'm not talking about none of that, T Knox. I'm telling y'all, this whole case is about Cassie. The whole case. It's nobody else. Y'all, I do not want to have to read this again, y'all. Like I read it already. Look, count 3. Transportation to engage in prostitution. Transported an individual in interstate and foreign commerce with intent that the individual engaged in prostitution and aided and abetted and willfully caused the same to wit. Combs transported, aided, and abetted and willfully caused the transportation of a female victims. It's a victim. See, y'all getting confused by the lettering. But if you look at the indictment for what it is, it's only one person. It is about her. Yo, what the fuck, yo? Yo, let me show y'all what we watched yesterday. Law and Crime finally admitted it. They finally admitted it. I've been saying this for 2 weeks. Law and Crime admitted it. What's that video we watched on Law and Crime yesterday? Let me take y'all back to that. Golly, yo, I can't believe you, T Knox, man. You know I'm more credible than that, man. Now, all the new people, I don't blame them because they getting their news from other places. You know I'm more credible than that, bro. Shit. Let's see. What the fuck was that we was watching yesterday? Why not yet? Oh, that shit was yesterday live. Cassie's civil lawsuit turned criminal, y'all. That's what happened. Her civil lawsuit turned criminal. Is this it? All right, here we go. Watch this, y'all. For everybody that doubted me. Maybe y'all believe if Law and Crime said. Since y'all don't believe me, maybe y'all believe Law and Crime. I've been telling y'all this for 2 weeks. Law and Crime just admitted it yesterday.
Dave McCormick, you can never trust him to be for you.
You want me to be wrong? I'm really right.
Put over 18 years of being a leader in online education.
I think at the end of the day, this is going to Prime Big Deal Days is coming.
Don't go nowhere. Everybody that think I'm wrong, I know the law too. Everybody that think I'm wrong, stay right here. Let Law and Crime tell y'all.
Her lawsuit gave harrowing examples, saying Diddy forced her to carry illegal firearms.
Let Law and Crime tell y'all, since I'm wrong. I've been saying it longer than them. They just start telling the truth.
Clamoring to take the stand to tell his side of the story. Can we really expect to hear
it? It's not 85 counts. It's 3 counts on the indictment. Where y'all getting this stuff from?
And this is Law and Crime News. It's been nearly 1 year since P. Diddy's initial fall from grace.
Cassie's the only witness. She's the only victim, I mean.
Blew the lid off his alleged criminal enterprise. It all started with Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, known professionally as the singer Cassie. Cassie's lawsuit laid out some bombshell allegations against the once beloved music icon, claiming that over the course of their years-long relationship, Diddy physically, verbally, and sexually assaulted Cassie. Her lawsuit gave harrowing
examples, just like the lawsuit we just
saying
read.
Diddy forced her to carry illegal firearms, beat her so severely she had to hide out for days at a time to let the bruises heal, and even that Diddy forced her to have sex with prostitutes after drugging her. On top of that, Diddy recorded the interactions. Cassie's lawsuit was settled only 1 day after it was filed, but the shocking allegations paved the way for a slew of additional lawsuits. Since last November, 11 civil suits have been filed against Diddy, listing out allegations that Cassie made in her lawsuit. Multiple plaintiffs say Diddy drugged them or forced them to drink alcohol.
I can't believe y'all doing this. Why the new people? I don't blame y'all.
All this.
But
the civil suits make clear none of this was consensual. Diddy's former producer Rodney Jones, known professionally as Lil Rod, made some of these same accusations and argued his allegations can be.
That's what I've been saying, Kyle. It's only one victim.
All this is likely what
it's
led
one
to
victim.
The federal raids on 2 of Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami.
Thank you, Kyle. The only victim.
This year.
I gotta get my goddamn mouse back. Hold on, I gotta get my mouse back. This is killing me. The only victim is Cassie, y'all. It's the only victim. Like, I know people want it to be something that it ain't. It might turn into something. But as it stands right now, it's one victim, y'all. Like, y'all think I would be on here lying? Especially Tay Knox. I can't believe you. You know I ain't never lied on this platform, man.
Inkling that something big was coming. And nearly 6 months later,
yo, stop listening to the words, yo. Look at the indictment. Forget the words. That's wordplay. That's trickery. That's trickery. If you look at the indictment, it says one victim. It is Cassie, bro. It is Cassie.
Facing multiple federal sex crimes charges,
they're gonna say it,
including racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Diddy appeared in New York court after his arrest, where he pleaded not guilty to all these charges. He also requested bail twice and was denied.
Those victims
twice.
are civil
He's now being held in the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, awaiting trial. Okay, I know you're multitasking.
Yeah, they falling for the word spells, bro.
And if you're out running errands, listen up. This one can help. I have to tell you about this free app called Upside that gets you.
I ain't even gonna say nothing else. I'm gonna let Long Crime tell y'all, since y'all probably think they more credible than me.
Diddy's arrest, saying Diddy maintains his innocence and is ready to tell his story. In fact, just this week, Agnifilo said Diddy plans to testify when it comes time to trial, so we could see the defendant himself take the stand in his own case. On the prosecution side of things, we will likely see some accusers like Cassie or Lil Rod. As we previously reported, ahead of Diddy's arrest, Cassie began working with the federal investigators on the case.
One victim. Cassie sat in front of the grand jury.
It's still unclear if Cassie testified at the grand jury hearings that led to Diddy's indictment, but it's definitely possible. And that also means she could be called to testify at the trial too. In the federal indictment against
what
Diddy,
lawyer are you listening to? Because his lawyer said on multiple occasions that the only victim is Cassie Tay Knox.
Identified.
You must be listening to the lawyer guy.
So that person's name wasn't listed, and we can't entirely be sure who it is, but it's definitely possible that victim 1 is Cassie. What's interesting about Diddy's indictment is...
Play it back. Play it back.
In the federal indictment against Diddy, prosecutors referred to someone only identified as victim 1. So that person's name wasn't listed, and we can't entirely be sure who it is, but it's definitely possible that victim 1 is Cassie. What's interesting about Diddy's indictment...
Play it back one more time.
Means she could be called to testify at the trial too. In the federal indictment against Diddy, prosecutors referred to someone only identified as victim 1. So that person's name wasn't listed, and we can't entirely be sure who it is, but it's definitely possible that victim 1 is Cassie. What's interesting about Diddy's indictment is that it only lists that one victim, even though we know there are nearly a dozen accusers who say Diddy abused them.
There's only one victim.
Hear from victim 1.
There's only one victim. Let me run it back one more time for the people in the back.
But it's definitely possible that victim 1 is Cassie. What's interesting about Diddy's indictment is that it only lists that one victim, even though we know there are nearly a dozen accusers who say Diddy abused them.
It only lists one victim. One victim. So stop letting these people feed y'all these narratives like you're going to have a slew of victims. Now, it may happen, but as it stands, right now, Diddy was indicted because of Cassie's lawsuit. When have we ever seen this type of situation? When have we ever seen somebody take a payoff and it ends an indictment? Let you know it's some bullshit. Tay Knox, you playing semantics, bro. You playing semantics. You want to be right, y'all, instead of just accepting the truth, bro. We don't do that over here, y'all. We don't do that, y'all.
We only hear from victim 1, or will even more survivors be called to testify for the prosecution? And will Diddy actually take the stand? To answer some of those questions and infer what...
So they do got to tell you who, they do have to tell you the victims in the indictment. They do have to tell you that in the indictment. They do got to tell you that in the indictment. Now, there could be a superseding indictment that add more victims, but they're going to tell you the victims in the indictment. Human nature. Come on, y'all. Do I got to pull my paperwork out on y'all? The fuck you talking about knowing law? I got a whole discovery packet over this bitch, 400 pages. Like I'm not just a YouTuber talking.
Trial 2. In the federal indictment against Diddy, prosecutors referred to someone only identified as victim 1. So that person's name wasn't listed, and we can't entirely be sure who it is, but it's definitely possible that victim 1 is Cassie. What's interesting about Diddy's indictment is that it only lists that one victim, even though we know there are nearly a dozen accusers who say Diddy abused them. So will we only hear from victim 1, or will even more survivors...
Let me show y'all something, y'all. I've had to show y'all my credentials. You see this? Look at this. This is a discovery packet. I done studied this shit through and through. Y'all see it? Phone records, phone wiretaps, house raids. Like, yo, I'm not just a person on YouTube talking. I promise you I ain't. I'm not just a person on YouTube talking, man. Yeah, I may have been a criminal, but I'm a criminal that knows law. Look at this. Page 2 to page motherfucking 403. You see this? This is all, look at all this shit. Like, I'm not King AK-47 or one of them other guys. Like, yo, stop playing with me, man. This ain't that.
To testify for the prosecution. And will Diddy actually take the stand? To answer some of those questions and infer what we could expect at his federal trial, we sat down with legal analyst and attorney Dina Saigdal. So what's interesting about this case is at Long Crime we're used to watching live streams of the trials, usually state cases where we can follow along. But obviously this is a federal case, so we're not going to be able to have our eyes inside the courtroom. We're not really going to know and hear the testimony. But how important is the testimony in a federal trial like this?
I mean, the testimony is key. We're going to have reporters, though, in the courtroom who we're going to see live tweeting of the testimony, recaps at the end of the day. I mean, Harvey Weinstein, that was a state case, but it was in New York, and New York is limited if any cameras are allowed in the courtroom. So it was the same idea. We didn't get to hear the witnesses on the stand, but we got to hear what they said, you know, through the reporting, and that will be what is happened here. So of course it's maybe not as great for us because,
I appreciate
you know, as a viewer, we can't analyze their credibility.
Hey, Rob, these people tripping, man. They think I'm just a YouTuber. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, man, I've been reading fucking court papers since I was 20, fucking 38 years old, man. Like, I don't just be over here talking, man. Like, I promise I don't. I wouldn't even do that. I'm not trying to mislead people for views and likes. If you come to Keep It G News, you come to Keep It G News for the truth. I'm not misleading people. I've been telling people since I read that paperwork that it's only one victim. Long Crime did 17 videos before they told y'all it's only one victim. Everybody that watched this channel knows there's only one victim. We read the whole indictment. Now, could there be some more victims? Maybe. But as it stands right now, there's one victim. And the victim is Cassie, allegedly. I don't have to like my glasses. I don't like you, chump. What you talking about?
Can't literally see them testify. We'll be able to hear the content of what they testify. The court may also make public quickly the transcripts of what the witnesses said in order to keep people informed. You know, that's what happened during the Trump criminal trial.
Thank you, Bree. They
fairly quickly. So we will get a sense of what is said, but it does take it away when we don't get to see it in the moment and really honestly decide for ourselves. what we think of that
I don't know.
witness.
They're gonna fuck my video up.
Or another witness.
We're still so early on because Diddy was
somebody
just
just beat the
arrested
case.
last week. We don't even have a trial date, so it's all speculation for now. But he has pleaded not guilty and says he plans to move forward to trial, and that kind of gets the wheels spinning, thinking what's going to happen. And of course, you just mentioned witness testimony is so vital. So let's start with the prosecution side of things. Who do you think would be someone very important for them to call a star witness, perhaps?
That's crazy, yo. What happened to everybody that was saying was only one victim? It was all these victims.
It's interesting.
It's like it's crazy. Y'all had to hear from law and crime for y'all like what make them different than me? Them motherfuckers ain't no different. These people are more likely to lie than I am. You know, cause they putting on a show. I'm just telling y'all the real. I ain't putting on a show. We might laugh and joke in the process, but I'm telling people the real. These motherfuckers is lying. You feel me? Like y'all crazy, man. Man, sleep to the motherfucking Ravens straight up. I talked about them in the beginning. But yeah, man, like I'm not rambling. I just showed you the proof. You just heard it from them. I'm not rambling. I've been saying this way before anybody on the internet. I've been saying this before anybody else on the internet. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Yeah, but Tinox, you wrong. You standing on it and you wrong. The victim is if y'all realize, the Cassie lawsuit sounds exactly like the criminal indictment. How is it not Cassie? Like we gotta use, how is it not Cassie? The lawsuit sounds exactly like the criminal indictment. Exactly like it. What lawyer? What lawyer are you talking about? Not Diddy lawyer. Diddy lawyer said it was Cassie. Diddy lawyer said it was Cassie. That's what he said. He been said it. Yeah, because it was a freak off, y'all. But I'm talking about who's the indictment. Another victim came out and she said literally went through the same thing as Cassie. Yeah, but that's not who this case is about. Whoever victim that is, that's not what this case is about, bro. This case is about Cassie and Cassie versus Diddy. That's what it is. It's not what people want it to be. Now it could be some more people coming out. It could be some more people coming out, But right now, what we witnessing is a shame in the Diddy. No, we didn't, bro. No, we didn't. Never said that. I got it on video where he said it was Cassie. Right after Diddy got locked up, he talked to one of these networks. Said it was Cassie. He said what? You was telling a lie. Was up that, but I don't know what you talking about, G man. They don't show y'all evidence. Yeah, but they do in the indictment. They're gonna tell you the victims. Now they might not show their names. No, but they're gonna tell you the victims. They're gonna tell you they have to tell you the victims in there. It's an indictment. How are you gonna secure the indictment without producing the witnesses? You can't secure an indictment without producing the witnesses. You gotta tell you the witnesses. Yeah, it can be a superseding indictment. Yeah, you're right. It can be a superseding indictment. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about as it stands now. Like we went on this whole back and forth because I'm trying to explain to people like, yo, see what happens is a lot of people is watching. I don't know what y'all be watching. Y'all can't be watching Keep It G News. Because we've been saying this for 2 weeks now. I can't believe Tay Knox doing that. Because Tay Knox, you don't be on the lives like that. But yeah, man. I ain't gonna get on this platform and lie to y'all, man. And I'm not a person talking, yo. Like I be knowing what I'm talking about, yo. Yeah, but that indictment don't have witnesses. that indictment only has one victim listed. They do it to everybody. They want to, you know. Yeah, 11 o'clock, right? 11 o'clock every night. Yeah, y'all, but that's sex trafficking, forced labor. All of that is done on Cassie, Jesus Christ. All of that is done on Cassie, y'all. That's all the things she alleged in her lawsuit. How many people actually read the lawsuit? Like, it's people arguing with me, and y'all probably ain't even read the lawsuit. Like, I read the lawsuit as well. That's why, y'all, it's always important to read all the paperwork. That's why I do it. That's why, y'all, I do not read excerpts. I read all the paperwork. So we got all information. You feel me? People like giving y'all excerpts because they don't want to do the work. That's lazy blogging. That's lazy reporting. They don't want to do the work, so they just giving y'all excerpts of what's... No, yo, we go through the whole work. Yeah, you got to read both to know it's the same thing. Because in the lawsuit, she's alleging that he set Kid Cudi car on fire. In the indictment, that's in the indictment. It's in the indictment. Man, we're not talking about what they did. Of course, they lie and everything. It's not an honest system. The system is filled with lies. System is filled with lies. Y'all gotta stick around, man. Cause we gonna cover it. We gonna cover it the right way. We ain't trying to lead nobody on. We ain't doing none of that. Death penalty. What the fuck? For what? For being a freak? So this is my theory, yo, with Cassie, y'all. This is my theory. I think that once upon a time, she enjoyed the freak offs. Once upon a time. But I think over time, you know, you dealing with Diddy, he dealing with power. He start being more aggressive with it, you know. So maybe it was a freak off once every 3 months. Then it started being a freak off once every 2 months. Then it started being a freak off once a month. And I think Cassie got tired of it. But what happens is she stopped wanting to participate. That's when Diddy got physical. You know, when she didn't want to participate with the freak off, that's when Diddy got physical. So I'm not saying Diddy's a saint. No, I ain't saying that. Diddy done some wrong. We all know that he done wrong to his own people. But this ain't a situation like they're making it out to be. Like, he's not, like, this ain't that, you know. That's all I'm trying to get people to understand. Like, people, they trying to make it out to be something that it ain't. Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying, KK. Like, they trying to make it to be something that it ain't. And see, what made it criminal also is Diddy leveraged, he had her career in his hands. So it can create a situation where maybe she didn't want to participate, but he would hold her album up. You know, you ain't participating in that freak off last week, your album ain't coming out. You feel me? Shit like that. Fucked up. Life in prison? Hell no. You understand? Like, no, not life in prison. He don't deserve no life in prison for that shit, man. Yeah, that hotel shit was crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like, I ain't saying he was a perfect citizen. I'm just saying, yo, y'all gotta, like, what's going on, yo, is what y'all think is going on is not. But people think it's ready to happen is not. Like, we're not seeing a takedown of Hollywood. Like, that's not happening because this is a personal beef. This is a personal vendetta. And what you're witnessing now is people is getting revenge. Diddy was a horrible person. You know, is a horrible person. You know, he did some fucked up things to people. He probably got a lot of people that participated in freak offs. You know, they might be all witnesses. They might be all witnesses. But right now, it's just one victim. It's just one victim. Man, copy, you tripping. Yeah, it's revenge, man. Everybody get back on Diddy for the fucked up, for 30 years of abuse that he put on people. That's what this is, man. Like, man, y'all took the whole conversation left. When they trying to do that, maybe if they could show too much fucking papers, I gotta take the fucking video down. Man, see the DC, Tina. That's what it is. My fucking district. Back when I was living in New York before Cassie, but it appeared that they were from parties. See, that's the thing, yo. Rob, you funny as shit. That's the thing, right? Like the freak offs was like the party after the party. The freak offs was the party after the party was over. So a lot of these people, they probably weren't even privy to the freak offs. No? Oh, all right, Kim Porter. Passed and came back. She was in a whole relationship. Yeah, it was a party within the party. And Hugh Hefner don't get no going. Hugh Hefner was able to die in peace. I'm sure he had a whole bunch of freak offs that was drug induced. He probably just wasn't assaulting people, but he could have. Shit, his old ass probably had a cane or something. Man, shut up, Little Leaf. Your name Little Leaf. Fucking rake you away some motherfucker way. Yeah, hell yeah, we happen to probably have freak out. Like, yo, a lot of people probably have them. Yo, this is a situation, these people knew that Puffy had some questionable things that he enjoyed on his spare time. And they're using it against him, yo. That's all this is, yo. So he don't deserve no life in prison for none of this shit, man. Not no life in prison. God damn. Like, what the fuck? He act like he's so fucking fentanyl to fucking 2 states of people. Like, this ain't that. These was grown folks from what we know. You know my son. Fuck, you know my son. Shouldn't be. If you know my son, you shouldn't be up on here this late. Oh, you say you know me. Oh, okay. That's what's up. Well, how do we know it was against their will, bro? See, I don't think Diddy was necessarily forcing. See, tonight, I don't think he was necessarily forcing people to participate in the freak offs. It was the influence that he had. It was the power that made you feel like if you didn't participate, then you're not gonna put my album out. If you didn't participate, it was, it was more of that, But I think people were sober first. People just don't end up on drugs. You gotta at least be sober at some point in the day. You feel me? Like, yeah, they probably always on drugs. If you go to Cassie lawsuit, Cassie explains that he was the first time she took drugs, she took it with Diddy. She ain't necessarily want to use the drugs. Matter of fact, let me show y'all. We're gonna go to Cassie lawsuit. Law and Crime did something on it. See the Law and Crime, man, even though I can't stand them. Alright, so Cassie, I think I got it in the video already. Ten shocking. Here we go. 19 minutes. All right, check this out, y'all. No, this ain't it. I don't want to see that. I want to see Cassie lawsuit, the original one. She's showing everything that's new. I want to see the shit from months ago. Want to see the things from months ago. I'm gonna show y'all Cassie lawsuit, and then y'all realize like, oh, all right, that is the same thing. Found Diddy's face. Cassie lawsuit. I wonder if they're gonna cover it on here. Let's see if they cover it on here. Probably not. They probably just gonna talk about him selling. But all right, listen to this, y'all.
Convenient care is here for you. Our 7 walk-in clinics are open daily with extended hours and accept all major health insurance.
When Bieber parents gave him the Diddy. His parents did that. See, that's what I'm saying. That's Hollywood stuff, y'all. This right here we dealing with. This is Diddy personal life. This not Hollywood. This is Diddy personal life. Usher and the Bieber stuff. That's Hollywood. They all play like that.
A sexual assault lawsuit that was filed against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs was resolved over the weekend. The artist's ex-girlfriend of over a decade, singer Cassie Ventura, outlined accusations of rape and physical abuse in her lawsuit on Friday, but only a day after the suit was resolved. In a statement, Ventura explained that she wanted to resolve the matter amicably and on terms that could give her some control. Now, clearly, we have a lot to talk about. I'm going to bring back in Bob. I'm going to bring back in Ron. And Bob, I'm going to start with you. Why do you think this was settled so quickly? I mean, one day. What happened behind the scenes here?
Well, it's interesting from the complaint. It seems like this is bigger than just what happened between the two of them, which is important because I think the Adult Survivors Act is due to expire. So there may be other people out there that there may be a concern. And again, because we haven't heard anything certainly from the defendant in the civil case that was filed that had just been settled. So there's going to be a lot of concerns there that if investigation. And if there's things out there about...
I want him to talk about this scene.
Excellent point here. And Ron, that's kind of what I want to ask you about. This is a civil case. It was resolved. Could Diddy still face some criminal charges? I mean, the allegations were, frankly, quite serious.
Absolutely, it's 100% possible. A civil settlement does not in any way, make him immune from criminal liability.
Y'all hear that?
The thing that a civil settlement would kind of help, Diddy would be that Cassie or Ms. Ventura can't voluntarily go and do things now. That doesn't prevent her from telling the truth if she's compelled by law. But I don't think if there is criminal liability on the horizon, this really doesn't help him that much. What it does is it prevents him from saying something under the power of a deputy like I take the fifth, because that just doesn't help anyone.
That's exactly right. And we've heard some reports.
Man, y'all better support the platform for me keeping it real. Ain't nobody else keeping it realer than Keep It G News on this topic, man. Nobody.
Similar claims they could either bring civil suits or, in fact, they could actually be a part of a criminal trial that could be brought.
Well, and what's interesting is in the remarks, which really, by the defendant, which were very personal to the plaintiff, which sort of said almost like, I'm sorry, or I wish you well. His lawyer had to walk those back a little bit and said, let's make something clear.
I want to hear the lawsuit.
Word love.
Yeah.
The fact that...
But I think he's saying that don't construe it any other way.
Well, it wouldn't hold up in the criminal trial. Certainly in some states, like New Jersey, for instance.
NDAs now, particularly...
I want to hear the lawsuit. I know who got it, but I don't know if she be striking channels or not. Cassie lawsuit. I don't know if she be striking channels. I know these YouTubers are getting weird sometimes. 35 page. Okay, this person got it. I think I watched it. All right, now listen to the lawsuit, y'all. Salute the who this is. Chronicle Speaks.
Politicians spend their time dividing us.
Yeah, ain't nobody keeping it real like that. Sure, I want to see him too. If there's somebody on YouTube keeping it realer than me, point me in that direction, please. Cause I'm looking. That's why I be looking.
Now I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicle Speaks. Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Now let's get back into it.
Look, now she reading the lawsuit.
Mr. Combs received the Lifetime Achievement Award at the BET Awards.
Listen, y'all. Listen to how close this lawsuit is to the indictment.
Accepted the speech, Mr. Combs stated, "I have to give a special shout out, thank you, love, to the people that were really there for me." He named a number of people before adding, "and also Cassie for holding me down in the dark times. Love." The truth is, however, is that Cassie, Mr. Ventura, was held down by Mr. Combs and endured over a decade of his violent behavior and disturbed demands. For Ms. Ventura, the dark times were those she spent trapped by Mr. Combs in a cycle of abuse, violence, and sex trafficking. Among other violent and unlawful acts, Mr. Combs raped Ms. Ventura in her own home after she tried to leave him, often punched, beat, kicked, and stomped on Ms. Ventura, resulting in bruises, burst lips, black eyes, and bleeding. Blew up a man's car after he learned that he was romantically interested in Ms. Ventura.
And he charged with arson in the indictment?
Forced Ms. Ventura to engage in sex acts with male sex workers while masturbating and filming the encounters. Ran out of his apartment with a firearm in pursuit of a rivalry industry executive whom he learned was nearby. Demanded Ms. Ventura to carry his firearm in her purse just to make her uncomfortable and demonstrate how dangerous he is, and introduced Ms. Ventura to a lifestyle of excessive alcohol and substance abuse, and required her to procure illicit prescriptions to satisfy his own addiction. So I am going to give you cliff notes because there's no way in the world sis is going to read 35 pages to you guys tonight. So it starts with an introduction of Cassie and Diddy meeting in 2005 when she was 19 and Diddy was 37 years old. He lured her into a fast drug-fueled lifestyle, and he was almost 2 decades her senior. Now he wanted complete control over her personal life while providing her all the avenues of success as an inspiring artist, but in giving her that, he demanded obedience, loyalty, and silence during their relationship. Now she said Diddy would go into these violent rages when he would beat her savagely. Now his staff and employees witnessed this, but with him being Diddy, no one really spoke up on her behalf. After the abuse, he hid her and showered her with gifts, which is typical for a serial abuser. Now, Diddy constantly reminded her that he could do harm to her by requiring her to carry a gun in her purse or by him blowing up the car of a musician that was romantically interested in her. He was abusive sexually, physically, and often made her have unwanted sex with male sex workers. She tried to leave him over and over, but he had a tight hold over her life. She tried to hide from him, but he had networks and affiliations of so many.
Remember they said he used this financial abilities, stability over top of the person.
Different
Cassie.
But they would only return her right back to him. Now there was a time that she thought she had escaped Diddy for good, but she ended up having dinner with him at her home, and he sexually assaulted her over and over, and she constantly told him no.
Supposed to be trying to kill Shania.
Now that everything is done and she's completely gone, the abuse is still haunting her. She needs intensive medical care as well as psychological care, and Cassie wants justice for the decade of her life that she can never get back, that she had to deal with threats of violence, excessive use of drugs, physical and psychological abuse, as well as sexual slavery. Now, according to Ms. Ventura, she brings this action seeking injunctive, declaratory, and monetary relief against defendants in violation of federal sex trafficking laws. Now, Cassie signed a 10-year record deal with Bad Boys in 2006 after Diddy heard her single in a club. Now, Cassie was very naive, so Diddy positioned himself as a father figure in her life, but he became too controlling. Now, 2 years go by, and Diddy is with Kim Porter, and Cassie has her own relationship, but Diddy decided to pursue her anyway. At her 21st birthday party, Diddy pulled Cassie into a bathroom and forcibly kissed her. She ran out of the bathroom in the hotel suite crying. Now, in 2007, he asked to take her out. Now, she couldn't say no because she was afraid of losing her record deal. She said yes, and he picked her up, but he was already inebriated. Now, when he picked her up, he gave her a blue pill. She did not want to take it, and she asked, "Hey, what is this?" He said, "You'd like it." Now, she later found out it was ecstasy. That was the first time she had ever gotten high. Time had went by, and he kept giving her drugs she did not want to take, but she refused in fear of no longer being able to please him and losing her record deal.
You see that?
Next thing she knew, she was in a full-on relationship with Diddy. He spent money on cars, apartments, clothing, everything she wanted, she had.
What's up,
now, Diddy bought apartments right down the street from the home.
This is what I'm trying to show y'all. This is the indictment. This is the indictment. In written in other words.
He bought an apartment in Los Angeles as well as New York, but this was so he can control her. He introduced her to a drug-filled lifestyle that kept her complacent and compliant. Diddy was on pain pills that were prescribed by a doctor, but when he ran out, he demanded that she go and procure more from a doctor in her own name. She didn't really want to. Now, Diddy wanted access to everything, her day-to-day activities, her travel, and even her medical records were emailed to him. Now, there was a time she started experiencing memory loss, which was more than likely due to the drugs and the head injuries caused by him beating her. She went to the doctor and had an MRI, and the MRI was even sent to him.
And y'all better
He
subscribe,
asked
man.
what
Look,
she called her grandfather, and she replied,
man, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. And if y'all can support the channel, man, support the real, man. Ain't nobody telling y'all the truth like I am, y'all. Cash that Baltimore swag, man. Baltimore swag. BALTIMORESWAG for keeping it real.
Pop Pop. So Diddy wanted her to refer to him as that nickname, Pop Pop. Then there's a time that Diddy became enraged. They were doing drugs at his home, and one of his security came to the room and said that Suge Knight was down the street at Mel's Drive-In. Diddy ran into the safe and got multiple guns and ran out of his home where he thought Suge was. Now we all see that little run out the house didn't take him nowhere, now did it? Now over the decade of their time spent together, he would violently abuse her, leaving bruises on her body and leaving her in hotel for days where she would have to heal up. Now he kicked and beat her so violently one time after a Jay-Z party that he ended up kicking her out of the car, leaving her to hail a cab back home. Now in 2009, she was speaking to a music manager about helping her grow her career, and Diddy became enraged and once again got in his car and began stomping her in the face. Once the car stopped at Diddy's residence, Cassie tried to run away, but Diddy caught up to her and
When that afternoon slump hits, you boss up. Ratio with 25 grams of protein.
Yeah, he don't stand on nothing.
kick her in the face. He realized how bad he had beat her and got her to a hotel in LA where she could heal. She recognized that she was powerless and this man had a team that bowed down to him and no one would tell him that he was doing wrong. She then became numb to the abuse after a while and became beholden and blindly followed his instructions in fear of another vicious beating. He often referred to their relationship as a Bobby and Whitney type of relationship, and he also told her that his fantasy was to see her with another penis. He invited a male sex worker into the home and they all took drugs and they wore masquerade masks. He made her perform sexual acts on this man and Diddy watched and masturbated and directed the acts that they would do next. Now this one encounter lasted multiple days and Diddy referred to this arrangement as a freak off or an FO. So whenever he wanted one, he'd tell Cassie that he wanted an FO and she had to facilitate finding the sex worker and also finding the location. Now sometimes Diddy would want these events to happen weekly. Now, Cassie was instructed to go on websites.
That's the problem, y'all. That's the problem. That's what I'm saying. At one point, she was in on it. Then I think he started to become excessive with it. That's when the problem stopped. That's when the problem stopped becoming a problem. It's when the problem exists. When he started.
These men, and Diddy instructed her to
more
find
and more and more.
with big black penises. Now, during these occasions, Cassie was given cocaine, ecstasy, ketamine, marijuana, alcohol, and it actually helped her to disassociate herself during these horrid encounters. Now, he would record these acts on his phone and his laptop, and she would go behind him and delete them and thought that she was done. She'd never have to watch him, never have to see him, but this showed her just how powerless she was. Diddy actually made her watch one of the videos that she thought she deleted while on a plane ride home. And it just showed her that she definitely did not have any power in the situation. Now, sometimes Diddy would beat her in front of these sex workers, and she actually allowed it because she was living in fear of him. He also showered her with
It was a sex worker. That video that came out, it was a sex worker in the room.
In front of these sex workers. Now, in 2015, during her 29th birthday, she was having a birthday dinner, and Diddy asked her to leave and have an FO. She said no, she didn't want to do it. She was cornered by not only him, but his security as well, and forced out of the building and taken to the hotel where she did have to perform sexual acts with the male sex worker. She came back high. Diddy was high. Diddy ended up seeing one of her friends at a hotel and picked the friend up like a baby and dangled her over the hotel balcony, scaring her friends.
That was wild.
Too inebriated to even say anything to him. Now, there were also moments in the relationship where she would try to leave, but then his network of friends and associates would only bring her back. Now, in 2011, during a break in their relationship, she started dating Kid Cudi for a brief moment. Now, Diddy was out of town and he asked her to come back for an FO, and because she was afraid of him, she decided to do it. Now, during that time, Diddy started going through her phone and he found her emails, and she had emails with Kid Cudi. Child, he got upset, he picked up a corkscrew, and he lunged towards her. Now, in fear, she left and she went to Kid Cudi's house. Diddy's team contacted her and was like, look, you need to go back and talk to Diddy. He's going through, see what's wrong with him. Now, in fear that he was going to do something to Kid Cudi, she went back, and when she got back, Diddy beat the brakes off of her again. In 2012, during Fashion Week, Diddy contacted her and was like, look, I'm going to blow up Kid Cudi's car, and I want to do it while his friends and family are there. Next thing you know, Kid Cudi's car ended up getting blown up. Now, in 2015, Cassie was filming this movie in Cape Town, and when she was filming the movie, she ended up finding this actor. She started dating him. Diddy found out about it. Diddy contacted the actor and threatened him, and the actor ended up contacting Cassie like, hey, you need to call Diddy. So that relationship was easily tarnished. In 2016, she had another FO with Diddy at the Intercontinental Hotel in Century City, Los Angeles. And during that time, Diddy got extremely inebriated again, and he punched her in her eye, giving her a black eye. He ended up going to sleep, and she tried to exit the hotel quietly, but he ended up waking up, screaming at her, and he followed her down the hallway, yelling at her, and he grabbed some glass vases, and he started throwing them at her, causing the glass to crash everywhere. She then got into the elevator and tried to escape. Now, she managed to make it downstairs to the lobby, and she quickly ran out and hailed a cab. Then she started realizing this man is really going to be upset with me, and things are only going to get worse. So she attempted to go back, and when she went back, the hotel staff was like, look, we saw the cameras, we saw everything that happened. Get back into the cab and go ahead and leave.
That's when he brought the tape.
So she ended up leaving. They are saying that Diddy paid the hotel $50,000 just for that security footage. So it shows you money can get you a lot more than what you thought. Now, she went to go stay with one of her friends in Florida, and James Cruz, who was the president of Bad Boy Management, tracked her down and told her that her single would not come out if she did not call Diddy's phone. A woman who worked at Sony Music reached out and also gave her the same ultimatum, letting her know that her record would not come out if she did not contact Mr. Combs. He also had one of his attorneys contact her, and that lawyer told her that it was in her best interest to call Mr. Combs back. Each time she tried to run away from him, he had a powerful network of associates and friends and workers who would contact her and let her know you need to go back and force her back. Now, during this time, she's losing family members, she's losing friends. No one is really wanting to hang around her anymore because not only is he being abusive to her, but he's also kind of being abusive to her friends as well. So this is the point when she's like, you know what, enough is enough. So in September of 2018, she joined him for dinner at an Italian restaurant in Malibu, California. And this dinner was supposed to be the dinner that she discussed leaving him for good. But after dinner, Mr. Combs went to her home in Malibu, California. This is a home that he paid for. He forced himself into the apartment and tried to kiss her. She kept declining, but he pushed his way right on to being with her, and he forcibly pulled off her clothing and unbuckled her belt and proceeded to rape her. While she repeatedly saying no, she pushed him away, and he did it anyway. At this point, she couldn't do it anymore. She said she was done. She ended up moving away. She gave him back the car that he had gave her. She got her own place, but in early 2019, her home address was revealed online, and this led to her fearing for her safety, and she thought that he would be able to find her, so she was under immense duress. Now, she was finally able to get away, and she credits her children as the reason why she was able to get a new lease on life. However, during her first few months of her pregnancies, she said that she was still going through the struggles of her addiction to alcohol and drugs. Without those vices, she started to have horrific nightmares at night, thinking about the sexual acts he would get her to do, the beatings and all of that. She checked herself into an inpatient treatment at a rehabilitation center, and during that time, she was required to do intensive therapy and other medical care to recover from Mr. Combs' abuse. She is asking for a money judgment for mental pain and anguish and severe emotional distress, according to proof.
Yeah, he did.
She's also asking for punitive and exemplary damages, according to proof, and also her attorney fees and costs. Diddy's attorney is speaking on his behalf, and Diddy is denying it all. He said it didn't happen. He's not admitting to it. They're just going to have to go to trial, and we're going to have to see how this all works out. What I need to do is hear from you. What do you think about everything going on?
Yo, so y'all, do y'all believe me now? Y'all believe me now? The lawsuit is the indictment. It's the same thing, man. We went through the indictment. Y'all seen the counts. We read a little bit of it. Now you heard the lawsuit. It is the same thing. It's no different. It's not now. It could be a superseding indictment that's going to involve more victims. But as it stands right now, Cassie is the only victim. Cassie is going to be on the stand testifying. There may be other witnesses. You know, I'm sure they probably going to scare them to testifying against Diddy. You know, the security guards and the maids and the, you know, the motherfuckers who cut the grass. They all going to probably testify against him. Diddy a wild dude, man. Like, I'm not on here making an excuse for Diddy. Like, I don't never want people to get that misunderstood. I'm just trying to explain to people, for one, that allegedly, you know, everything is alleged. Allegedly, the indictment is about Cassie. That's one. And for two, we would have never heard of none of these things if Diddy wasn't at war with these people. He broke the code, you know. But he's at fault. So that's one thing we gotta recognize. He's at fault for all of this, because if it wasn't for when you align yourself with when you play with fire, you get burnt, man. And when you align yourself with these people in this way, and your yard not clean, then you open the door up for this type of thing. So before Diddy decided to press charges on them people, or not press charges, but file a suit on them people, he should have been well aware of the games that's going to be played against him, because Diddy done played these same games with people. He done played these same games with people. So he should have been aware of what was to come.
Man, sorry for that steak. I'm sure he'll understand. So what's the plan? What cocktail party is that? No, exactly.
That's what they're trying to say. That's what Keefe D saying.
Your second book. If someone shares something intimate or private, you feel strong.
Yeah. I'm just not the YouTube or the YouTuber that's gonna string y'all along for views and make up stories. No, I'm gonna tell y'all what it is. Tell y'all what it is.
If you're wondering,
see the Brazil, man.
My face.
Yeah, Diddy done some fucked up things to people, man. So this is his karma. He got a history of fucking over black people. He got a history of abusing women. He got a history of doing the same things that's been done to him. He got a history of doing it to other people. You know? Yeah, Scooby-Doo, man, you should have seen it earlier. Man, we had so many new people. They were sitting there arguing with me. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to tell y'all what it is, man. They're like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, yo, not long I've been reading paperwork. I've been reading paperwork for 18 years.
Stories about the scars.
I could have been a lawyer if I wasn't a criminal in my younger years. Yeah, he did. He got power drunk. A lot of people do that, man. Like, yo, power is a serious tool, man. Everybody can't handle power. And then he had it for so long. You talking about a 30-year run? Man, everybody can't handle power and still be able to keep their morals. You know, people get power and they lose everything. They lose sight of reality, you know, because they really shaping their own reality for real. You know, they've been shaping their own reality for so long, they think everything moves when they move. You know? And that's what it was. That's what it is. You feel me? But yeah, I appreciate everybody that tapped in. Like I say, y'all, if you like the show, support the platform. Cash App Baltimore Swag, man. Support the real. We're doing real work. I ain't got nobody in my pocket. Everything I said is alleged. You know? I ain't got nobody in my pocket. I'm not being paid by no platform. I mean, not no platform, but no motherfucking corporation. The lie. I'm on here just telling the truth. We don't run plays. We don't do no gimmicks. We just real content, all truth, no lies. That's how we rock. It's another day of KILLE3D News, and I'm out. Oh yeah, we go live every day at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, every day, Monday through Sunday, and I'm out.